Standard theory for dental care. Instructions to prevent fracture of endodontic instruments. Instructions to prevent fracture of endodontic instruments. Contents. Introduction. 1. Clockwise torsional manipulation. 2. Continuous clockwise torsional manipulation. 3. Filing manipulation. 4. Counterclockwise torsional manipulation. 5. When needy alloy endodontic instruments can be used. 6. Incurved root canals. Reasons why needy alloy endodontic instruments cannot be used. 7. When the instrument tip becomes embedded in the root canal wall. Reasons why needy alloy endodontic instruments cannot be used. References. Introduction. Fracture of endodontic instruments due to metal fatigue can be prevented by discarding instruments after a certain period of use. However, endodontic instruments may fracture suddenly due to the abnormal progression of metal fatigue caused by use exceeding the instrument strength or repeated rapid deformation. To prevent such fractures, endodontic instruments must be used in accordance with established operating procedures. In this article, we will explain the operating procedures for preventing intracanal fractures of endodontic instruments. These procedures align with the standard root canal preparation techniques described in internationally renowned endodontic textbooks. Therefore, these procedures are effective not only in preventing instrument fractures but also in preventing dental accidents such as perforation of the root canal walls, disruption of the apical seal, and the apical extrusion of foreign bodies from the root canal. 1. Clockwise torsional manipulation. Clockwise twisting is performed according to the following procedure to remove infected dentin from the root canal walls. When inserting a manual endodontic instrument into the root canal and resistance is felt, or when it is confirmed that the instrument has reached the apical region, apply a clockwise twisting motion while slowly withdrawing the instrument. As shown in the upper right photo, this twisting motion causes debris from the root canal walls to adhere to the cutting edge of the instrument. Check the contamination level of the debris adhering to the grooves on the blade of the withdrawn instrument. As shown in the photo on the bottom right, debris adhering to the grooves on the blade of the manual endodontic instrument is removed with a sponge or alcohol-soaked cotton wool each time the instrument is withdrawn from the root canal. Note, if a tool with a fixed tip is rotated continuously in a clockwise direction, it will undergo plastic deformation due to torsion and fracture. 2. Continuous clockwise torsional manipulation. In a straight root canal, as shown in the illustration on the upper right, continuous clockwise twisting of endodontic instruments should be performed only when there is no resistance felt by the instrument from the root canal wall. This technique is effective for removing the smear layer from the root canal walls. In a curved root canal, as shown in the illustration on the lower right, continuous twisting is contraindicated. There are two reasons for this. 1. Performing continuous clockwise twisting of an endodontic instrument within a curved root canal causes the instrument to undergo repeated bending, leading to progressive metal fatigue and increasing the risk of instrument fracture. 2. If an endodontic instrument is rotated continuously within a curved root canal, only the outer root canal wall at the apical end indicated by the red arrow is abraded, leading to perforation or destruction of the apical sheet. These points will be explained below. 2. Continuous clockwise torsional manipulation. 1. When endodontic instruments are rotated clockwise in a curved root canal, they are subjected to repeated bending, which leads to progressive metal fatigue and increases the risk of instrument fracture. As shown in the illustration at the top right, when an instrument is rotated within a curved root canal, it may not appear to be deformed at first glance. However, as shown in the illustration on the bottom right, the instrument actually undergoes severe deformation repeatedly with every rotation within the curved root canal. It must be said that it is extremely rare for a metal product to be subjected to such severe deformation continuously in this manner. Therefore, repeated use of instruments that causes deformation within curved root canals should be avoided as much as possible. 2. When endodontic instruments are rotated continuously within a curved root canal, only the outer wall of the root canal at the apical end indicated by the red arrow is abraded, leading to perforation or destruction of the apical sheet. The illustration on the right, taken from Ingalls Endodontics, explains the adverse effects of rotating instruments within a curved root canal. As shown in the illustration, when an instrument is rotated within a curved root canal, the instrument's elasticity causes only the outer root canal wall to be removed, while the contaminated dentin on the inner root canal wall remains intact. 3. Filing manipulation. As shown in the photo in the upper right, in curved root canals, pre-curved manual endodontic instruments are used to perform continuous back and forth movements from the apical region toward the mesial. The continuous filing maneuver shown in the photo at the bottom right is performed when there is no resistance felt by the instrument from the root canal walls. Since deformation of the instrument during this maneuver is minimal, there is no need to worry about instrument fracture. However, care must be taken to prevent debris from escaping from the apical end. This maneuver is performed to remove the smear layer from the root canal walls and to irrigate the canal in curved root canals. 4. Counterclockwise torsional manipulation. As shown in the figure on the right, a counterclockwise twisting motion is performed when a handheld endodontic instrument is firmly lodged against the root canal wall and cannot be withdrawn from the canal. If the handheld endodontic instrument can be withdrawn from the root canal, this maneuver is not necessary. Specifically, if the tip of the instrument is locked within the root canal and the instrument cannot be withdrawn, apply a slight counterclockwise twisting motion to the instrument to remove it. In doing so, do not alternate between clockwise and counterclockwise twisting motions. Repeated clockwise and counterclockwise twisting of the instrument can easily cause it to fracture. 5. When needy alloy endodontic instruments can be used. As shown in the illustration on the right, needy alloy endodontic instruments, which are elastic and resistant to plastic deformation, can be used in straight root canals when the instrument rotates smoothly. On the other hand, needy alloy endodontic instruments cannot be used in curved root canals or when the tip of the instrument becomes lodged against the root canal wall. I will explain the reasons for this. 6. In curved root canals, reasons why needy alloy endodontic instruments cannot be used. 1. As shown in the illustration on the right, when an instrument is rotated within a curved root canal, the instrument tends to return to its original position, resulting in the removal of only the outer root canal wall indicated by the red arrow. This can lead to damage to the apical sheet or perforation of the root canal wall. Furthermore, the infected dentin on the inner root canal wall indicated by the blue arrow remains in place without being removed. 2. As shown in the illustration on the upper right, when a needy alloy instrument is rotated continuously within a curved root canal, the instrument appears, at first glance, to remain undeformed. However, as shown in the illustration on the lower right, the instrument is actually undergoing continuous, severe deformation within the curved root canal. Consequently, metal fatigue failure of the instrument progresses rapidly, leading to sudden fracture. Metal products are never used under conditions where they are subjected to repeated, rapid, and severe deformation in this manner. Consequently, at this stage, no method has been developed to prevent intracanal instrument fracture involving rotary needy alloy instruments. Based on the above, we must conclude that the use of rotary needy alloy instruments within curved root canals is dangerous. 7. When the instrument tip becomes embedded in the root canal wall, reasons why needy alloy endodontic instruments cannot be used. If a manual endodontic instrument becomes lodged in the root canal wall, the practitioner will feel resistance from the instrument. In such cases, instrument fracture can be prevented by stopping the rotational motion and withdrawing the instrument. On the other hand, when the tip of a rotary needy alloy endodontic instrument becomes lodged in the root canal wall, the practitioner cannot sense the resistance caused by the instrument becoming lodged. As a result, the instrument continues to rotate, leading to instrument fracture. In particular, when the thin tip of the instrument becomes lodged, the risk of instrument fracture is extremely high. That concludes this topic. Thank you for your attention.